When to go. Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, or you've been here before but haven't subscribed yet, please do so, along with hitting that thumbs up button for me and dropping your comments. Definitely want to hear your thoughts and feelings about these Knicks. We're right here. This is the pregame show for Game 5 that's taking place in Boston. The New York Knicks, they took care of business in Game 4. They took this firm control of this series 3-1. They are on the precipice of advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. That's right. Seems crazy to say that. It's been so long. It's right here, and the Knicks have to treat this game like it's their last game. Like they have to win this game. You cannot be looking forward, because even though the Boston Celtics, they did suffer a terrible loss, Jason Tatum is gone for the rest of the playoffs and probably all of next season with a torn Achilles, which was operated on yesterday. And he probably had it operated on at the Hospital for Special Surgery in New York. I wish him the best. I'm sure he will have a great recovery. But however, the New York Knicks have business at hand, and the business at hand is putting the Boston Celtics to sleep for the rest of this season, sending them on vacation. It's not going to be tough. I mean, it is going to be tough. It's not going to be easy, is my whole thing. It's going to be tough, because when a team loses their best player like that, they tend to step up and rise up. So we got a preview of that game. We're going to discuss whatever we want to discuss. Let's go forward here. So this is the current series record right now. Knicks are up 3-1. They won the first two, as everyone knows. Two 20-point comebacks, miraculous, never been done before on the road. And then they came back for Game 3. And Game 3 is the one that has me concerned. They came back for Game 3. Game 3 was a must-win for the Celtics, and they took care of business. Now, in that game, it wasn't like they depended on Jason Tatum for that victory. In fact, here's the box score from Game 3 for the Celtics. Tatum only shot 40% overall. He did hit 5 of 9 from the three-point line, so that really matters tremendously. They're going to be missing that three-point shooting, but look at them all. I mean, Horford was 3 of 4. Drew Holiday was 2 of 3. Derek White was 3 of 6. Pritchard, he had that monster game, 23 points, 5 of 10 from the three-point line. Jaylen Brown is the only one of these key players that did not perform that well from three-point shooting, along with Kristaps, who was 0 for 2. And interestingly, those are the two guys that the Celtics are going to need the most. But you never know. These other guys can step up and have a humongous game. They have to look at it as just a one-game playoff. It's basically, it's win or die for them anyway. So, and since the last time they were like that was in Game 3, this is how they responded. Now they're going to be missing Tatum's 23 points and 9 rebounds, but Horford got himself 9 rebounds. Brown got 6 rebounds himself. I mean, they can make up for Jason Tatum's lack of production, missing production. They can make up for it and surprise the Knicks today. So this is not a team to be taken lightly just because they've lost their best player. I just want to drive that message home here. Now, let's look on. So, Boston is 9-2 without Tatum this season. 3-2 against playoff teams. Winning 3 straight against the Knicks, that's a tougher task, especially with Kristaps Porzingis clearly suffering the effects of an illness. But the first step is just winning Game 5. Exactly. That's all they have to think about right now. And I'll tell you, they have plenty of talent. They're loaded with talent. They're deep, and they have loaded with talent. And they might even be getting Sam Hauser back. So he gives them that perimeter length and tremendous three-point shooting out on the perimeter, even though he had been struggling. So we'll see. But let's look further in. From the NBA.com, they had this article here, you know, what the Celtics need to do. So number one, Jaylen Brown has to be better. We know that he has to be better. With Tatum out, the spotlight is obviously on Jaylen Brown, who has an effective field goal percentage of just 42.2% in this series. And just so you know, that is terrible. That's a terrible field goal percentage. Despite Brown's struggles, the Celtics have survived, outscoring the Knicks by 2 points in his 30 minutes on the floor without Tatum. So that is something to really take note of, thanks to some defensive numbers. So down below here are the numbers. So when Brown and Tatum are on the floor together for the 125 minutes in this series, they had an offensive rating of 113.1 and a defensive rating of 101.2 for a net rating of 11.9. So they did well, and they outscored by 30 points. They were plus 30 with the two of them on the floor. However, when Brown is on the floor and Tatum's off the floor in just those 30 minutes, the offensive rating actually went up to 114.3, and the defensive rating stayed very close to what it was, 101.6, for a net rating of plus 12.6, so even better than the net rating when Tatum was on the floor. Now, again, those are more minutes that are probably more against when Brunson's out, not on the court, and when they're facing a Deuce and Payne, and that's probably when Brown was on the court. So you got to bear that in mind. But they did finish a +2 in total points and plus minus. Now, Tatum and no Brown, interestingly, he played 41 minutes without Brown on the court. It's a disaster. Offensive numbers dropped to 109.2. Defensive rating jumps up to 127.8 for a minus 18.6 net rating in this series specifically. So minus 18 plus minus. So look, it's weird. Obviously, they're fantastic when they're on the court together, but when only one of them is on the court in this series so far, Brown has been the more effective one. So Celtics, they're not going to roll over for us. It's going to be a battle. They're going to give us everything they have. It's going to be interesting to see what the Knicks can respond with. And they've already done it twice on the road there at the Garden, TD Garden. Number 2, this guy recommended, which is interesting. I don't remember the writer on this, but should the Celtics play small? I found this interesting. I popped out a couple of paragraphs here for you guys. The Celtics played almost 7 minutes of the fourth quarter of Game 4 without Brown, who was in foul trouble. And for that entire time that Brown was on the bench, they played big with 2 guards, Tatum, Al Horford, and Porzingis. It didn't go well, with one sequence, a missed layup and a blown by on the other end, illustrating Porzingis' issues pretty well. And over the 4 games, the Celtics have been outscored by 11 points, 8.9 per 100 possessions in 63 total minutes with 2 bigs. Some combination of Horford, Porzingis, and Luke Cornett on the floor. So their double big lineup is getting bested by our double big lineup. Because one thing that Thibs has done more so in this series is when Mazzulla goes to 2 bigs, meaning any combination of Horford Porzingis, Cornett Porzingis, or Cornett Horford, then Thibs counters with Mitch and Cat together on the court. And those minutes are being won by the New York Knicks right now. So that's why going small might be a wise move for the Celtics. In this series, the Celtics have played 13 total minutes with Pritchard, White, and Holiday on the floor together. Those minutes have not been good offensively. 31 points on 32 possessions. That's trash. Mostly because the Celtics shot just 2 for 15 from 3-point range. And they could obviously be a challenge on defense, especially on the glass. Well, it looks like it could work. I mean, it kind of did work it worked in Game 3 because Porzingis played about 19 minutes. He only 5 points. He scored all from the free throw line. He didn't make any shots from the outside or even down low. So he was a non-factor. So they were forced to go small-ish often. Even though Horford played 35 minutes in that game, he played fantastic. 15 rebounds. 15 points, 9 rebounds. So I think we're going to see some small ball. We're going to see some shenanigans by Mazzulla. He's going to try to throw Thibs off his game plan. So that's going to be interesting to see how the Knicks respond to that. The way I would do it is I would just stick with my bigs. Stick with my bigs and let them earn it. Let the Celtics earn it if they want to go small. They will get punished. They will get punished. Because remember, Cat can drain those outside shots. So it's really, it could be beautiful. Let's keep going here. So this is interesting from Dolan J. Trump's account. The Knicks have outscored the Pistons and Celtics 148 to 118 in the third quarter since Mikal Bridges suggested the layup line. As Dummy Fizdale once said, take that for data. So the Knicks are actually have responded to this layup line coming out of halftime. If you don't remember that, he was interviewed and said, well, what can the Knicks do? I think this was after the first loss to the Pistons. He said, well, maybe we come out after halftime and do a layup line. I don't know. And they've been doing it since then. And look at this. Now the Knicks do respond much better in the third quarter. And they've had third quarter. Well, actually, they've been great in the third quarters for periods of time in the season. And it was a fourth quarter where they would fade. Interestingly enough, the Knicks are now the dominant team in the fourth quarter. Look at this. Jalen Brunson leads playoffs in most total points scored in the fourth quarter, 102 points. That is up there. Better, I think he tied Kobe. I think it's like Kobe in 10 games. In 10 games played in the playoffs. Michael Jordan is up there. And I think that's it. I think that's it. I mean, that's the level of greatness that Jalen Brunson has reached here in the playoffs for the Knicks. And he scored 102 points on 50% shooting in the fourth quarter. He's tied for fifth. Tied for fifth is Mikal Bridges with 54 points himself. He's shooting almost 60% from the field in the fourth quarters. We know he's come alive. He scored 10. He scored 14. And I think he got 13 in the most recent game in the fourth quarters. He starts out cold, almost non-existent offensively for sometimes a whole half, sometimes 3/4 of a game, and then he'll come alive in the fourth quarter. Hopefully the Knicks don't have to wait for that this game. We'd like to see a complete game from these Knicks from beginning to end, because that's what's going to take to beat these guys tonight. When the going gets toughest, the Knicks Nova boys get tougher and sharper. Let's not forget 2 game-winning steals from 5 picks. Bridges. Here's the actual close-up of that stat. You can see. Now, this was screenshot yesterday. So some of the numbers may be a little different, Donovan's, and maybe a little bit different here. But in general, Brunson is still up there with 102 points, and I think Mikal is still tied for 5th. It's just fantastic to see Mikal stepping up, basically making us forget about those 5 picks and proving to us that the notion that Leon had by bringing him and pairing him with OG Anunoby could work. It's taken a long time, but it finally has worked, and it's beautiful. It's working beautifully right now. Then, in terms of fourth quarter assassins, the team itself, the Knicks have become total fourth quarter assassins. Not only is New York outscoring Boston 27.8 to 20 points per game in the playoffs, plus 7.8 in the fourth quarter, they're also lead all semifinal teams in the playoffs in 3-point shooting in the fourth quarter. They're shooting 43.8% in the fourth quarter. So for a team that isn't shooting enough threes, they finally step up in the fourth and hoist average about 8. Here, let's keep it going here. Here's a close-up here. They average about 8. And they make 3.5. That's almost 44%. By far the best so far, just above the Timberwolves. And last on this list here, the Boston Celtics. They are shooting only 23% from the 3-point line in the fourth quarter when it matters the most. And that is just Knicks defense. And it could just be the Knicks wearing them down. Those trying to fend off a team that's trying to rush and make a comeback like the Knicks have done 3 times in this series can definitely wear an opponent down and make them lose their edge. Their touch gets lost a bit. And you can see they're averaging almost 12 threes attempts in the fourth quarter, and they're making less than 3 of them. So that is an area of a wonderful turn of events for the Knicks. They're facing the mighty Celtics, who are the 3-point kings right now of the league, and it turns out the New York Knicks are the 3-point kings in the fourth when it matters the most. Beautiful. Here is the current brackets of the playoffs. You can see the Indiana Pacers have advanced. They defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers last night. They're up. Gentlemen swept them. Truly a shocking development there. It's shocking because the Cavs were number 1. They were runaway number 1 team in the regular season, 68 victories. But it doesn't matter when it comes to the playoffs. You have to adjust what worked in the regular season for what will work in the playoffs. The Cavs were not able to do that. Darius Garland, as great as he is, he's just really too diminutive, and he doesn't play any defense whatsoever. And Donovan Mitchell, his defense has improved, but and he definitely gave them a couple great games. But I think he tweaked an ankle or something in Game 4, and no one else really stepped up for the Cavs, and now they're out. They're going to Cancun. Unbelievable. And now the Knicks are right there about to do the same thing to the Celtics. If they can win tonight, the first game will probably be on Sunday, I believe. And, man, would that be wild. Over in the West, you can see OKC leads the Nuggets 3-2. They won last night. And the Timberwolves with Randall, who played his best playoff game of his career recently. He and Dante and Ant Edwards have the Timberwolves 3-1 over the Golden State Warriors, who are missing Stephen Curry, who's got, I think it was a hammy. Was that what it was? I can't remember exactly what the injury was, but he supposedly needed a week. So he's not going to be back for Game 5, which I believe is tonight after the Knicks game. So the Timberwolves have a great opportunity to close them out tonight, because they don't want to blow this opportunity and then move on and then have to face Curry in Game 6 or a Game 7. So that is correct. Okay. Now we'll look at the projected starters for the Knicks. The same as you can see in the injury report. They have Sam Hauser listed as a game time decision, and Jason Tatum is out for the season. It's terrible result for them. But this is what happens. This is what we faced last season, man. We lost in that last game. We had lost Brunson. He broke his hand. OG could only play 5 minutes in that game 7, and Mitch had been lost. Randall was gone. Bojan was gone. Who else? There was someone else that was injured too. So we were totally depleted. Oh, Josh Hart was also nursing injuries. Here are the projected starters for the Celtics. So they are going to go with a version of a double big lineup to start. Horford is starting. Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis is now becoming a starter again, getting put back into the lineup because Jason Tatum is out. So he's filling his shoes. Jaylen Brown and Derek White, the ever dangerous Derek White. In this series, Jaylen Brown is averaging 21.9 points per game, and Derek White is averaging 18.3. Kristaps is down to 8.9. I'm expecting a good game from Kristaps Porzingis today. He's been trending upward. The illness he was battling, or whatever the after effects of that illness that he had, they were really draining and debilitating for him. And you just, each night get more rest. You just get better each night, and you can see he's beginning to show some signs of life right now. So he's gonna be interesting. The Knicks are gonna have to deal with him, because if he starts raining threes from distance, 3, 4, he can just pull up, bam, and knock him down. He basically will be playing the role of Jason Tatum, and we know that. That we have struggled when they are hitting their threes. They shot 50% against the Knicks in that Game 3, 20 of 40. It's something they can replicate again, because Kristaps can fill in, can make up for the 5 of 9 that Tatum gave them in that Game 3. That's what Kristaps could probably do for them. And then, there it is. I brought this guy back because these guys have been delivering at such a tremendous level for the Knicks. Offensively, they've had some poor moments here and there, but their defense has been on point generally in this series. I'm so excited. Wingstop is here. Let's go. All right. Next thing I want to show you guys is back to this. Let's look at the series stats here. These are season averages per game. I think that's listed incorrectly. I think this is the series itself, the matchup. Let's look down to the bottom. The points in the paint. The Knicks are dominating that. I expect that to continue. especially with Cat completely down low. I believe he's going to continue battling down low, which I love that for him. 47 points to 38 is the Knicks leading right there. In second chance points, the Knicks are ahead. 16.8, almost 17 to 15.6 for the Celtics. But we know we've seen games where the Knicks, they just don't have the energy. They're not fighting for the loose balls the way they should be. And Boston has capitalized on that in the past. So that's an area of concern, right? Not concern, to keep an eye on. And in the fast break points, the Knicks are leading that. So the Knicks are leading all three of these really important categories down here in where you see the circles are, the donuts. Look, it's going to be a tall order. And look on the right. The leading players for the for Boston, leading point scorer is Tatum, 25 points. He's gone. Leading rebounder, Tatum, almost 12 rebounds per game. He's gone. Assists, Tatum. He's their number one assist guy, 5.5 per game. He's gone. So those are big shoes to fill, but the Celtics have enough on their roster to do it, to at least pull it off for a game. Even if they win tonight, they're not winning this series. We know that. But you don't want that to happen because you never know what can happen. You never know what can happen. I didn't want to say the word, but you never know what can happen. So tonight is the night. The Knicks must take care of business tonight. You can see Knicks and Boston are virtually tied in points scored per game, 106.1. Celtics have been out rebounding the Knicks in this series by just about 1.5 rebounds more. The assists, interestingly, the Knicks are almost at 20 assists per game. Just half an assist above the Celtics in this series, so shout out to them for that. 8.2 steals. Knicks need to keep that going. They have to be total bank robbers here. They have to pick their pockets left and right, and basically end possessions for the Celtics before they can start hoisting those 3-point shots. So I love that. And the blocks, pretty even, but that's the one category the Celtics are leading here, along with the rebounding. And then the turnovers, fairly even as well. Field goal percentage, Knicks are leading overall. Field goal percentage, 45.1% to 44.3%. But the three-point shooting, look at that, almost a virtual tie. 35.5% for the Celtics in this series, and the Knicks at 35.4%. The major difference has been the volume. If you shoot the same amount, the same percentage, but the other team is shooting a lot more of them, they're going to benefit from that. The difference has been that the Knicks have been beasts inside the arc as well. As you can see, the points in the paint, right there. The Knicks have a +9 in points in the paint. The free throw shooting for the Knicks has been disappointing. They were under. They averaged about 80% during the regular season. They averaged 80% during the regular season. They're now at 72.8. Knicks have to pump that back up, hit their free throws. A lot of that is Mitch. I'm expecting Mitch to get over his mental block that he has right now, and at least get back to a 50% version of Mitch. I'm expecting that. The Celtics did miss a lot of free throws in the previous game, and that helped them. Helped the Knicks, should I say? But they are averaging 82.2 points per game for the series. All right, let's look at. Here we go. So, this was the fourth quarter points that I was talking about. All right, let me just delete that. Let's see who is killing it in this playoffs. Let's just look at the semifinals. In the semifinals, Donovan Mitchell was the number one scorer, averaging 34.2 points per game, but he only shot 24.5%. So you can see why the Cleveland Cavaliers are now making vacation plans instead of moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. But look at this, number 4 right there, Jalen Brunson, the most incredible scorer still left in the postseason, in my opinion. Incredibly dynamic. He's got his 3-point shot up right now to 41.2%. Fantastic. And Edwards is right there, almost matching Brunson's numbers beautifully. Beautifully done right there. Look, you see Tatum, man, he's going to be missed. Randall's right there. To find another Knick, here we go. You got that going down to 11. Is Karl Anthony Towns, who's averaging less than 20 per game. That's one thing I'm surprised about. I really thought Towns would be feasting, in, especially against Boston, because he punished them in that last regular season game for 34 points that were all inside, down low in the paint, and a few middies here and there. So that's why I'm expecting that tonight. I'm expecting that kind of response tonight from him. Let's move over to here. So these are the teams. Here are the team stats for this semifinals. In points scored, the Pacers, man, averaging 117.6. The Knicks are down only 103. Actually, this can't be correct. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It is because, that's correct. The Knicks are averaging, only 33.9% in this series from the three-point line to 33.5. Damn. Only 65.9%. So those other stats I showed you were for the playoffs, total playoffs. Oh, man. So this is going to be the personal fouls. Knicks have to keep that down low. So I'm liking that. Up the steals, the turnovers, take care of the ball, and rebound the ball. Knicks take care of the ball. Knicks don't turn the ball over and take care of the glass. They win this series. And I can tell you, they win the next series too if they do that. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. All right. All right, so there you go, guys. New York Knicks are on the cusp of doing something many Knicks fans have never even seen. Get to an Eastern Conference Finals. Get to a conference finals. They will be if they win tonight, or if they win on Friday, whenever it is, they will be one of the final four teams in the NBA. A place that we hoped the Knicks would be at the beginning of this season, and then we saw them go on a tremendous run. They got off to a great start with their offense, but their defense was a problem. There were concerns about when is Mitchell Robinson going to return. He finally did return. Then they thought, was he going to be traded? Are the Knicks going to make a trade for another center because they're not sure what they're going to get from Mitch? They gambled with Mitch, and it's totally paid off. And the other amazing thing that's happened here is that this team was a team that could not stop anybody. They used to go through long periods where they couldn't stop anybody. Now this team can string 4, 5, 6, almost 8 minutes of stops together. That's what they have done to the mighty Boston Celtics. They have completely had periods of stifling. Now they've had periods where they haven't, where they've gone down 20 points, went down 31 points to the Celtics in Game 3. So they definitely can let the Celtics build leads, but the Knicks have figured out how to get back into those games, and they figured out how to basically, figure out the game plan, which is figure out how to be close in the fourth quarter. Whatever you need to do, just when the fourth quarter is happening, Knicks have to get close enough so that Captain Clutch and now Mikal Bridges can help them win. I'm predicting a victory tonight. I'm predicting probably like maybe a game one type score line right here, an 805, 108, a 108, 105 type final where the New York Knicks defeat the Boston Celtics and move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. All right. Well, I will be doing a halftime show live, so look out for the link for that. And, of course, the post game. We will be celebrating. Let's hope. We'll be celebrating. Can't take the Celtics lightly at all, and I don't think the Knicks will. All right. Thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe, hit the thumbs up button for me, and drop your comments, and I will see you in the Eastern Conference Finals. Woo! I'll see you around the Knicks-Verse.